Well, it's the first day of a new trading week, so let's have a look at 3 euro pairs with Dr. Valentin Hofstetter from Raiffeisen Bank in Vienna. Valentin, the euro was higher against a broadly weaker dollar today after Lawrence Summers' withdrawal from the Fed contest. Now, everybody has been talking about and waiting impatiently for Thursday's big Fed meeting. So, Valentin, can you tell us more about the performance of the dollar? And how do you think it will be trading at the end of this week after the meeting?
In the short term, you already said, I think this summer event is more or less priced in. It's a one-day event, but most interesting actually Wednesday afternoon when we get the Fed decision. Tapering is more or less a done deal, I guess, but the wording is going to be interesting. We would expect the wording to be rather dovish in the sense of the US Fed doesn't want to have this yield increase at the long end of the US curve to move too fast. Actually, it has already been moving pretty fast and steep already. So when they are announcing tapering at the same time, actually, they would be well advised to cool down market expectations for future rate hikes, so to have some more forward guidance on the dovish side, like in the sense of, for instance, either giving an explicit inflation target or lowering the unemployment rate target, or just some nice words that makes that stress to the market that the first rate hike is still very far away. So we would not expect the long end of the yield curve to sell off because of this, which would also mean the US dollar shouldn't get too much support from this Fed meeting. So in the short term, we can easily move up further to 1.34 is now within reach, but 35, if it's really a dovish statement on Wednesday, would also not be excluded. So in the short term, I think the upside risk for euro dollar is prevailing. To be honest, though, in the medium term, we expect these gains in the euro versus US dollar to be taken back already this year. So our 1 month forecast for euro dollar is we only have 3 months forecast for December in this case is 130. So we would expect it to hand back all those gains, and if you need a 1 month forecast, it would be in between 132. And also on a 6 month horizon, not much change, 1.31, because we don't see actually. Let's put it this way. Of course, the US economy is growing much stronger than the European economy, but if you talk about market surprises, what's already priced in the market and which economy will surprise more to the upside, then expectations are already there that the US economy is doing fine and will accelerate further into the next quarters. We think the scope for upside surprises on the economic side, on the business cycle side, is high in the Eurozone actually. So we are optimists on the growth recovery in the Eurozone, not by the magnitude, don't get me wrong. So it's not a new boom phase for Europe, but given the very low expectations, we think there will also be upside surprises in the European growth picture. Therefore, we would suppose that this is actually helping more the euro than the US dollar over the next months.
And the euro-yen has been steadily losing ground since the statements made by the ECB. So can you tell us more about this and share with us your targets?
Our euro-yen forecast is actually 130 for December, and on a 6 month horizon 135. So here again, with monetary policy, here we really have a difference in monetary policy. The Japanese economy is doing great, but that's very much supported by short-term measures, and the monetary policy of the Japanese central bank can only get easier because we think they will need it if they want to keep up growth. Whereas in the Eurozone with better economic figures, the ECB is far from tightening, but market expectations where the interest rate part for Eurozone goes in the next 1 to 2 years will be more on the hawkish side. So simply diverging outlook for monetary policy should support here the euro against the yen. So 135 I think would be quite easy to reach. Medium-term upside is even higher for euro-yen.
And finally, Valentin, what sort of trading patterns are we witnessing with the euro-Swiss franc?
Euro-yes is an interesting one also in the short term because you do have still this downside protection, this 1.20 that the market is not even testing. So I think we would need a lot of short-term risk aversion even to fall back below the 1.23 again. So you do have a cushion to the downside, and it makes for a very nice trading range. Looking back at the chart, it's obvious that it would have been nice to buy the euro-Swiss below 1.23 over the last months, and you shouldn't get too greedy and then get out at 1.24. I think you will be able to play this range 1.23 to 1.24 also for the months to come, and so we are long Euro-Swiss at this current level. Our forecasts for Euro-Swiss are 1.25 on a 3 month horizon, and on a 6 month horizon we could see it even rise up to 1.28. That's our 6 month forecast. But more interesting, I think, in the short term to play this range. So I would be long at current levels, and if we get closer to 1.23, I think this would be a very great short-term play. Much better than many other currency pairs, because because you have this limit at the downside, and so the risk is very manageable.
Great, thank you, Valentin. Well, if you are interested in hearing about some emerging market pairs, then make sure you watch Monica Gibson's interview on Wednesday. Have a great day.